Another day, another mock. This time we're picking out of the number 1 spot, and we're going to try to do at least we'll see how this goes. We're going to try to do 1 through 12 in that order, trying to prepare you for your fantasy football drafts that are coming up very soon. So we're going to try to get all those mock drafts covered. There have been some that we've done on the channel already, so go check those out as well. But let's start this mock draft. Let's get going. All right, here we are. 2025 season. We're going to go with ESPN just to shake it up a little bit. Standard, no. PPR, yes. We're going to be doing PPR. Snake, 12. We're going to be drafting out of the first spot overall. We're going to have 1 flex, 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 8 bench spots. And we're going to be drafting against the fantasy pros experts. Just to throw up a little shake up here, we're going to use the ESPN pre-draft rankings. And let's start the draft. I don't see any reason why we can't start. So we are going to kick this off with a pick because we are number 1. And let me just get this screen all right with the world here. Here we are. Sorry, I'm playing with a new way to format this. So it's going to be, hopefully it shows up okay. Let me just double check this. I mean, it looks good. All right, so I'm going to quit being paranoid, and I'm just going to draft Ja'Marr Chase. I think Ja'Marr Chase is the hands down 101. Don't think too hard about it. I think if anybody can repeat as the 101 next year, I think it's somebody like Ja'Marr Chase. So I think you don't think too hard about it. We're going to skip that. And we're just going to see what comes back to us, because sometimes, and this is interesting because we have Ja'Marr Chase and then Bijan, then Jameer, CD, Justin Jefferson. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes really high. That's way higher than I've seen him go. Saquon, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, McCaffrey, Genty, Devon Achane is rising up the rankings a little bit further than I would think that he would go. Brian Thomas Jr. all the way to the 203. Drake London at the 205 is a steal. I'm surprised a little bit that Ladd McConkey's still going at the 207 with the addition of Keenan Allen. Tyreek goes really high. I'm pretty thrilled with our options here, honestly. We have, in my opinion, some running backs still available. I am not going to go Garrett Wilson. I'm not in on Garrett Wilson this year. But I do like some of these running backs. I mean, we could just go full Cincinnati Bengals here with Chase Brown. I actually wouldn't hate that. But I do think that running back is probably the play. And I like a lot of these running backs that we have here. Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, Josh Jacobs. I would honestly prefer, Chase Brown. So we're gonna make Chase Brown one of these picks and just go full Bengals and Bucky Irving. So we're gonna Chase Brown, Bucky, especially in a PPR league with the pass catching. So nothing really stands out. George Kittle goes in the mid-third. Kyron goes at the 309. That also would have been a consideration for us in the third round too. Breece Hall, James Cook going at the 401. That's interesting. Kenneth Walker, Ted McMillan, Jalen Waddle goes 1 pick before we can pick him. And now we are back on the clock here. Now, the obvious thing that a lot of people might be screaming at me to do would be to stack up Ja'Marr Chase with Joe Burrow. I don't necessarily feel the need to do that. Although it would be really fun. I'm not gonna lie. That would be really fun, and maybe I'll do it, maybe not. But I do think the one player that stands out like a sore thumb to me right now is Courtland Sutton. Although the 412 does seem a little bit rich for him. Let me just scroll a little bit further down the the list here. All right. So we have Roma Dunze, Stephon Diggs, some other running backs here that we don't necessarily mind having. I think I do like Cortland Sutton quite a bit. Not a big fan of DK Metcalf this year. Not a big fan of that Steelers offense whatsoever in 2025. Rashee Rice is interesting too. We did get the news that his hearing's not going to be till September 30th, so he's going to be eligible to play those first 4 games. And I don't know if that tips the scales enough for me. We know that a 3 to 4 game suspension is coming. But I kind of feel comfortable. Gosh, I don't necessarily hate George Pickens here either. There's just I think we have to. I think I am going to go lock in Cortland Sutton with one of these picks. And then I do think the next thing that we should do, you know what? F it. We're going to deal with the suspension and we're going to try to backfill later. Let's go Rashee Rice. So what happened here? We get an absolute there's a smash pick right on the board right now. I can't believe he came all the way back to us, especially considering RJ Harvey went at the 504. So we got wide receivers right at the right time because there were a bunch of wide receivers that came off the board. Rome would have been nice to have, but again, not too heartbroken about it. Going a couple picks before we can get him. And I do just want to touch on, that's probably a 3 to 4 game suspension coming for Rashee Rice. But we're going to get the first 4 games of the season. So I feel good about that. And I think he's probably in this range of like 4th, 5th round pick now. I think that's perfectly fine value. And we know what he is at the very top of his game. Like just go look at the last, really since week, I think 11 or 12 of 2023. I mean, those 9 games, I mean, it's a short sample size, but if you go back to even 2023, towards the end of 2023, his stats are unbelievable. So that's what I was more than comfortable taking him here. The first pick I'm going to make is Trevion Henderson. I think that's a no-brainer. So we have a completely symmetrical team. We have no quarterbacks yet. We don't have a tight end yet. Hawkinson is staring us right in the face. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Dak Prescott. I don't mind. I mean, Jacoby Myers is the next wide receiver. Let's look at wide receiver. Ricky Pearsall might be a nice pick here in round 7. Also TJ Hawkinson I like quite a bit, but I'm feeling like, Juwan Jennings still dealing with that calf injury. That makes me bump up Ricky Pearsall. So I want to take Ricky Pearsall here and just continue to bolster my wide receiver room. And so the tight ends do come off the board basically right after I took Pearsall. Juwan Jennings, interesting. He's almost a full round and a half being taken after Ricky Pearsall in this exercise. So, and then we have some crusty wide receivers in Cooper Kupp and Debo also coming off, some quarterbacks as well. I think one of these picks has to be Mark Andrews. Like if Mark Andrews came back, I would absolutely be over the moon. And then Tyrone Tracy, man. Tyrone Tracy in the 8th, 9th round. I think those are the 2 picks we have to make. So I'm going to go Tracy and Mark Andrews, nail down a tight end. I'm loving this team. I really am liking this team quite a bit. So let's recap it real quick. Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, Cortland Sutton, Rashee Rice, Trevion Henderson, Ricky Pearsall, Tyrone Tracy, Mark Andrews. Now we have our pick of quarterbacks if we want them. I really like Dak. I really like Drake May. Drake May is probably my favorite quarterback to draft. Trevor Lawrence if we want to wait a little bit. Let's see who's available at wide receiver. Rashid Shaheed, Keon Coleman, Christian Kirk, Cedric Tillman. Nothing's really speaking to me here whatsoever. And it looks like the running backs are basically all handcuffs at this point. So I think we made the right call. I think we have 4 running backs that we really like, especially considering it's PPR. We also have to consider, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. There's, only one team that hasn't drafted a quarterback yet. So we might be able to wait on that to get our guy. I don't necessarily love any of these options. I'm going to scroll down. And I hate to say, like, we do have 2 picks here. So we're going to have to think about it. I don't hate Wan'Dale Robinson. I just don't. And then maybe taking a shot on Jaden Higgins as well. Sounds good to me. And then we push quarterback a little bit further down the road and let's see what happens. So I think Jaden Higgins is going to be one of the picks, especially considering we're going to have to fill in for Rashee Rice at some point. And then, Adam Thielen's also there. Let's go with the PPR. Wan'Dale Robinson, number 10 in targets last year. Malik Neighbors can't take up all the oxygen, I don't think. And so I don't know if we should chance our quarterback. So I think either Dak or Drake May should be the pick here. I also don't hate taking an upside shot on like a Trey Harris, even though Keenan Allen is there. So I think one of the picks is going to be a quarterback. And just because, the safe pick would be Drake or Dak Prescott, but the high upside pick is obviously going to be Drake May. So I'm going to take Drake May, and they probably won't like that. I'll probably get dinged by their system for that, but oh well. And let's see. Let's go to running back. And, Corum or Jalen Wright. I think Corum is the most important handcuff running back in fantasy football. So I think I'm going to go in that direction. And as we see, we got some tight ends. We got Caleb Williams coming off the board. I think it's interesting that these rookie tight ends go really late according to their model. I find that fascinating, and I find that very good for me because I do like the rookie tight ends quite a bit. So let's look here. I feel like I've been taking Jalen Noel in just about every one of these exercises or every one of these mock drafts. So I don't know if I'm going to take him again, but I'm not seeing a ton that inspires me. Let's go to the running back spot. They want me to take Kendre Miller. I've never been a huge Kendre Miller fan. Let's go with a couple running backs that I think have a lot of upside, and that would be number 1, Keaton Mitchell, and that number 2 would be Woody Marks, considering we have no idea what's going on with Joe Mixon. And then with my last pick, so I feel good about getting some of these running back handcuffs. We have our quarterback, we have our tight end. Don't feel obligated to take another one, although that's probably where the value is right now at this stage of the draft. Don't really see a wide receiver that I absolutely need to have, although I do like Devon Bailey as a kind of a late round sleeper. Don't love any of the running backs still left, really. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's there. Why not? Why not? He's probably going to be gone before then. So let's take another handcuff running back. A-. Oh my gosh, they actually like this team. They usually hate my teams. So A-. How about that? A- with this team. And Drake May, Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton, Rashee Rice, Mark Andrews, Trevion Henderson, with Ricky Pearsall, Tyron Tracy, Jaden Higgins, Wandale Robinson, Blake Corum, Keaton Mitchell, Woody Marks, Corey Krosky Merritt. There we go. All right. Third overall. I'll take it. Third overall. So starters are second, quarterback 12th. I always get that when I take Drake May. I don't know what the deal is. So let's see what the expert opinions say. So a lot of these guys, I don't recognize too many of these guys, but they love the draft. Aaron St. Dennis didn't really like it. Some of these other guys, I don't recognize too many of these guys, so apologies for that. Steals and reaches, Drake May was the only reach I think that I had. Let's see, you can redo some stuff. Don't really know. Draft recap. All right, so we've already done this, but let's do it again because this was a good one. I feel like this draft was one of my better ones, and just an absolute picture perfect model of how to execute a flawless draft from the number one spot. Just kidding. This roster's who knows what's going to happen. But I love this team, so I do. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We took Jamar Chase with the number one pick because that's what you do. Chase Brown, Bucky Irving, Cortland Sutton, Rashee Rice, Trevion Henderson, Ricky Pearsall, Tyron Tracy, Mark Andrews, Jaden Higgins, Wandale Robinson, Drake May, Blake Corum, Keaton Mitchell, Woody Marks, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. I love that draft. So if you don't like it, that's going to hurt me a little bit down in my tum-tum. But, oh well. We all have a difference of opinion. So that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to have more content coming at you, hot and heavy. So I hope you can handle it. Until next time, be good, everybody, and we will see you later.